Previously on Masks and Martyrs.
Rika has drawn a card in Andrew's DMs.
I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
You can private message me if you need to.
Well, it's something that Rika, we can deal with that later.
I think I will approach the waiter. I'm looking for a particular gentleman, who I believe is here, and I believe you might know where I could find him.
When he is ready to see you, you will go up to one of the alcoves on the second floor.
I have to have a meeting with the Von Tepplers while I'm here. If I die, take care of my sister.
Reagan, we're not going to let anything happen to you. I don't have anything magic or anything, but just really just make a big ruckus and I'll come running.
Thanks. And she gives him a small kiss on the cheek and then goes and follows Hortensia.
Sitting there is Elaine Von Teppler. There's sort of like a long minute of just quiet. And then Elaine says, I honestly don't know what to do with you.
Reagan tenses and just kind of finally looks up and meets her eyes, if Elaine is looking, up enough.
She's actually looking at you. She's looking off a bit. She just says, on the one hand, you break into my home on the day that assassins arrive, and you run a sword through me. But on the other hand, you save my daughter's life. I don't know what to make of you, Reagan Kayam.
I get that a lot.
So then explain. She locks eyes with you for the first time, and she says, who exactly are you, and what exactly do you want?
You don't recognize my name, do you, at all?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, that tracks. This story starts further back than probably you realize, and I wasn't with the assassins. I don't think. I was with the assassins. They might have been hired by the same people. I don't really know.
Who hired them?
I'm not sure. I was hired by... And she thinks it over for a second before... She's like, wait, this is probably important information. And then she just says, fuck it. I don't like this lady. I was hired by Anastasia Manata not to kill you, to break into your house and steal your shit. Anastasia Manata blackmailed my friends and I into breaking into your house to steal some scroll. We didn't. We left. Because I stabbed you. I'll get to that. She told me you would be here. And she told me you would be tired. I think she knew my name or something about my history, and I'm getting there. She pours herself water and takes a sip like a normal goddamn human being for once. So yeah, she hired me. I don't know about the assassins. I was as surprised as, well, probably not as surprised as you were, but I wasn't expecting them either. So that's why I was there. Now why I stabbed you. And why I am not going to stab you tonight.
It's very kind of you.
Yeah, it is. You've got no fucking idea, actually. Do you remember... I'm sure you've been in plenty of these battles, but do you remember the Duchy of Gothric? And she kind of flinches when she says Duchy, because she doesn't like thinking of it as part of the Amanor Empire, but that is what it is, so...
She's just quiet for a moment, and then she says, Duchy of Gothric declared independence under the rule of, what was her name? Queen Mara, was it not?
Yeah.
Declared independence.
Yep.
8 years ago, was brought back to heel after an attack by the Amanor Empire and bolstered by the Hintillan levies.
Yeah.
And some rather brutal business with the elves in the north, yes?
Yeah, that's... So I'm from Gothric. The Kayam name, we were nobles all of a sudden, and I was in the army, and so was my dad and my sister, and we were a military family.
How young were you?
And she thinks, I didn't get drafted till close to the end, but 14? 15?
God.
I mean, I was happy to serve my country and whatnot. Anyway, that's not the point. You and your husband were at the last battle that I participated in. I mean, I did things after that, but the war was over and we all knew it. You both led the decisive charge against us and my father and my sister. And I hate both of you. Like, I think that's not unreasonable, right? Like, so that's my story, the short version. And I came to Hintilla for vengeance, and that's my story, and that is why I stabbed you and was happy to take Anastasia Manada's job. But now things are complicated. And for some reason, your kid likes me, and she's a good kid. But, so yeah, that's why. That's my story. I don't know what you want to hear from me, but...
I would like to hear that we can bury this axe now, and we can both move on with our lives. My family has enough enemies, Reagan Kayam, and it is exhausting trying to keep them all at bay. It is exhausting trying to secure a future of at least a life for your children.
I want to make something perfectly clear. Your children have nothing to fear from me. They never have, and they never will. I don't fuck with people who weren't responsible for... That's not my style.
But if we die, if Erwin and I die, if you get what you want, then Lynn and Aldo will be alone. They will be alone in a city of wolves and vipers and vultures. And I will not let that happen. I will not take any action against you tonight, Reagan Kayam. That is what we agreed upon. But I am hoping that we can find some way that we can agree to not take this any further.
Reagan thinks on that for a while, and kind of like, she's breathing heavy, like her good friend Kalo taught her how to do. And she, after a little while, speaks up. When you came to Gothric, why did you come? I would have assumed it would have just been, were you military too? Why were you there?
Erwin is a talented field commander.
Yeah, I know.
He is... Yes. Apologies. But he has no head for the arcane. There were rumors that Gothric was employing a different sort of magic, one which would be difficult for our magician in residence to handle on his own. I accompanied Erwin because I did not wish to see my husband die in a conflict neither of us had any desire to be a part of.
Just following orders, then.
That is one way to look at it. I would describe it as blackmail.
Oh? And that gets her attention.
What do you know of the Whispers?
I mean, like when you talk quiet?
No.
Nothing, then.
Do you know why Aminor as an empire has survived, whereas the kingdom of Dun has collapsed. Why the humans persevered while the dwarves did not?
Because the people in charge are assholes and ruthless assholes. Yeah.
Oh, the dwarves. The dwarves were more than ruthless enough. You need only look to the north, to the Sunderkin, to know that much. No, the reason that the Empire survived was not because of human ingenuity and pluck and spirit. It was not because they were lucky enough to have talented emperors. It was because there are 99 men and women in this empire who are given absolute autonomy. They are called Whispers. 8 years ago, one of them came to call in a favor. A favor from some years before, which, for things we shouldn't have done, at least not the way we did them. They had certain leverage upon us, which should, if it were to be revealed, would be damning for my husband. There is a sizable faction within Hintilla who wishes to go to war at every opportunity, who see it as a chance for glory and wealth and fame and influence. We are not part of that. However, despite what we wanted, the favor was called in, and we were not in a position to refuse. I am sorry that it was your people and your country that was...
Yeah, we burned for your reputation, huh?
She winces at that, just for a moment, and she says, "In this city, reputation is all you have sometimes."
Yeah, sure. I will never forgive you or your husband for what you did. I'll never understand why you people will do so much to keep power. I'll never understand why nobles are fucking like this. I mean, I guess I was one, but for, 5 fucking minutes. I can't ever forgive you. But that doesn't mean I have to kill you. Or do... What were you thinking? What was your best case scenario for how this conversation plays out?
My best case scenario was that we would be able to walk away, at the very least, at a point of neutrality. An agreement not of non-interference. There doesn't seem to be much chance of that with you, apparently. Whatever you are, the champion, that was a surprise, honestly. But at the very least, an agreement to not, that if things ever get to where they were, that instead of our first response being to kill one another, that we instead have a neutral point where we can meet, where we can discuss, where we will not necessarily be chained to the violence which has defined us thus far.
Okay. You understand that's a lot for me too, but I need something from you. I need one thing from you. If I'm to do this and let you my family, some of them are still alive, and I need a guarantee that nothing happens to them in this goddamn city, or I can't promise you anything.
As long as they take no actions against my family, then I guarantee no harm will befall them, at least from my house and from the office of the Archduke.
Okay. So I guess that's how we're doing this.
I know I've already asked much of you, But I would have 2 questions about things you have already mentioned.
Can't promise I'll answer them, but fire away.
You said you were hired to collect a scroll. A ceremonial scroll.
Yeah, something
Yes.
to do with the elections. Like I said, we didn't end up getting it, so I don't really know much about it.
It was stolen.
Oh, well, somebody managed it. Wasn't me.
And then returned anonymously.
Oh, that sounds like something Monty would do. You know, just like successfully steal something and then punk out.
Politely return
Polite.
So Monty stole it?
No, and Monty was... Actually, I don't know what Monty was. He was with Lynn most of the time, so she probably would know if he stole it. She probably would have figured that out. But it just sounded like something he'd do. But it's probably not him. Brika was with me. Though I never know what the fuck she's doing. I don't know if you even know who that is.
Brika Cha, yes, I'm aware of...
Everybody knows Brika Cha. The rest of us are fucking ants, but Brika Cha...
No, I just make a habit of knowing the people who saved my daughter's life.
That's fair.
I have my other question, and I understand if you don't want to answer this. What did your father look like?
I was told I take after him a lot. He was tall. He was taller than I was. I guess, God, I don't know how tall he would have been, like, feet and inches. I was pretty young, but, you know, taller. His hair, he usually kept it on the longer side. He's pulled it back, and he was Andrew decided he was a commander or a captain?
Commander.
He was a commander. Had a scar along his jaw on the right side. Went from the ear to the chin. Like I said, military family. I mean, she kind of just gestures at her face and takes off the mask for a second. We get fucked up. Yeah.
And, the weapons that he carried.
He was a swordsman. Taught me most of what I know.
And you said he was there?
Yeah, the last I saw him, he was falling back to protect the queen? Yeah, to protect the queen, and the last I saw of you and your husband is you were heading the same way.
I'm sorry, Reagan.
So you guys got him?
Yes.
That seems about right.
For what it's worth, she sort of pulls down her dress a little bit, and at first you think she's going to reveal the part of her chest where you stabbed her, but she pulls it down the other side, and you see an almost identical wound.
And Reagan, that was in character. Reagan actually laughs at that and says, I thought you were going to say some bullshit that he died bravely or something, and I was going to say that wasn't worth shit, but that actually makes me feel better. Weirdly. Not much, but, so you took him out?
No, there was a wizard there, more than capable, and he, on your side, I was, engaged with him, and your father, he saw his opportunity. Erwin, he was going to finish the job when Erwin, intervened.
I see. I can respect that. I mean, I've made it pretty clear I hate both of you, but I can respect that. I can respect wanting to protect somebody you care about. I have an older sister. She would have been somewhere nearby. Same hair, same skin tone, but she, harder angles. Do you know if she do you remember seeing her?
I remember a young woman. It was difficult to remember most things after that, but I remember a young woman charging Erwin, and I managed to stop her with what I had left, and she was taken prisoner.
Is she? Do you know if she's still alive?
When we left, she was among the prisoners, yes. That's the last that I know. I'm sorry.
No, no, that's good. That's good news. She's probably sorry, this is why am I apologizing to you? It's a lot, but she could still be alive. That's good. Yeah.
Reagan, my husband doesn't know about this.
I figured.
He doesn't know that you, stabbed me.
How'd you manage that?
Lying. A lot of lying.
Yeah, just bumped into the bookshelf and got an enormous lifelong scar. It happens all the time.
It's very easy to blame things on assassins when there are a few dozen of them running around your home.
No, that makes sense.
Erwin is, you won't believe this, but he tries to be a good man.
Yeah, you're right, I don't. But
he wouldn't be as conducive to this as I am. He grew up in different circumstances than me.
Sure.
So if you encounter him, he does not know any of this.
I'd prefer not to encounter him, honestly,
Yes.
But if I do...
You are at a masquerade hosted by us, unfortunately, and you do have the attention of one of the more interesting men in the city to the nobility here, so it may be... it may happen, sadly.
He can do the talking. He's interesting enough. I'm not gonna, tell him my whole fucking backstory or anything. I'm only doing this because Hortensia basically threatened to kill me, so... But I think... I don't trust you. I don't trust really anyone. But I agree to your terms as long as you honor them. And that's the best I can do for you right now.
She nods, and she says, I would offer to shake on that, but I am afraid you would break my hand.
Yeah, I'm very strong.
I can tell.
Yeah. I stabbed you, so... That's fair.
Fucking damn it.
By the way, that Dreadbane got your bodyguard.
Yes?
He's a good guy. Give him a raise. That's the rest of my terms. You have to give Dreadbane a raise.
I think we can manage that.
He's got a family to take care of.
Thank you for having this conversation. I recognize that it must be difficult considering everything.
Yep. Sucks, but what are you gonna do?
Mostly, all we can do is survive in this world.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've recently come to realize that maybe things going on here are bigger than my personal desires.
At the same time, it is important that we not lose sight of the things that matter to us in the larger shuffle. Be that a son or a daughter, or a sibling, or a lover. The world is such a big thing, Reagan. The politics and the games of the powerful are also... they're all so distant at times. Sometimes you need to remember what you're doing it for. Who you're doing it for.
Regan stands up and kind of thinks for another second. I don't like you, Elaine von Teppler. I don't think I ever will. But you have my respect.
I don't think that I will ever fully trust you, Reagan Kayam,
That's a good idea. You really shouldn't.
but you have my gratitude for both this meeting, but more than that, for the life of my daughter.
Yeah, well, she's a good kid.
She smiles at that and she says, "The best."
Now nothing's gonna happen to her if I have anything to say about it.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage for that.
Sure. Phew, neither was very good. That's like an 8.
Okay, good to know. She's gonna sit there and she'll say, "Hortensia, can you show Reagan back to the Masquerade? I need a moment to compose myself." She says, "Of course, sweetie, take all the time you need." And it's just, "Come on, Reagan, let's go get you a drink." And you see that she has drank all of her mixed drink.
That
the
would
whole
be
goddamn thing.
fucking stupendous. Let's go. So basically that whole conversation was happening over loud slurping noises.
I was really tempted.
Noise.
I was really tempted, but I thought that'd be like a betrayal of this
Okay,
important moment for Reagan.
I like to think they were just so engaged in it that they didn't notice, but the audience.
Just ice rattling in the background.
As you're walking back, Hortensia says, "So, that went pretty well. You're not gonna kill each other."
Yep, that's all a girl can wish for, you know?
And I don't want to take all the credit, but I'm just saying.
You're fucking terrifying, so you deserve some, you know.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hortensia learned a long time ago, "'Tis better to be feared."
Yeah, Hortensia is scary as hell, and weirdly, Reagan respects that.
So I think, just for the sake of expediency and getting to the next beat, I think everybody kind of gathers around Hortensia's bar. Everyone's kind of gathered there, they've been trying to find Reagan, and they've gone to Rufus, and Rufus has been having the meeting. Everything's fine. Everything's totally fine. I am so calm about it. It's great. It's gonna be great. Everybody's gonna be fine. Nothing bad is gonna happen. No, I don't want to drink. Why does everyone think you best want to drink? I don't want to drink. Wait, do you want to drink, Monty? Do you want to drink? Here, Monty, have a drink. And then he walks by the bar and he starts making a drink, just moving his hands.
Jeez.
Dreadbane kind of chuckles and he goes, "Humans."
I'm not human. Don't give me that.
Rufus isn't human either.
You're part human, right?
I mean, I guess.
Sorry, I don't really see specifics of race. I just see if you're a human or not.
I mean, honestly,
mammal or reptile.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I am not a reptile. Ethel, you're here too.
Oh no, that wasn't Ethel's voice. Are you kidding?
Ethel would have been a reptile, dear.
Yes.
Yes. Everyone sort of gathered around there when the door opens and Hortensia steps out first, followed by Reagan, and she goes, "Oh, look at that! All your friends are waiting for you. Isn't that so sweet?"
Yeah, that's cool, I guess.
These are the friends you're gonna have the rest of your life, Reagan. It's very important that you appreciate them.
How do you know that?
Oh, she shoulder shimmies a little bit. Reagan, Rufus immediately goes over to you, and he has a half-made drink in his hands, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay? Is everything good? Do you need to leave? Do you need
I'm good." And she looks a lot lighter. Was looking a little confused at first, and now that she's kind of seen everybody, she's like, "Yeah, that's why I was nice to that bitch, 'cause my friends and stuff." Friendship, yeah.
Monty is hovering nervously nearby.
It says, "Do you want a drink? I'm almost. I'm making. I don't know what I'm making, but I'm making something.
Whatever he's holding, she just takes it and just.
Oh, that's just bitters. That's just bitters.
Perfume.
Rufus is not gonna put perfume into a drink. Come on, he's not. He's 10 intelligence. He's not
Reagan,
4.
finishes her shot of that horrible thing. She's like, "That drink was horrible, but
yeah, that was the bitters
it's
part
fine.
of it."
It's all
Okay,
good.
right.
I'm good.
Good.
Thanks
That's
for
good.
worrying about me. And she kind of, like, punches him on the shoulder, but, like, in that playful bro way, because she's awkward and doesn't know how to show affection.
That's fair. So is he. The most he's managed to muster is in, like, a hand squeeze.
Yeah, they're awkward as hell.
They are. Maybe we can pass it someday. Maybe.
I hope so.
So currently they're just to reiterate, it's Brika, Monty, Rufus, Kahlo, and then Judbin and Hortense are there as well. But they're not really part of the team per se.
Judbin-
What is Delia doing?
Oh, Delia. She dipped out a while ago.
Yeah, I'm very suspicious.
So Brika and Monty, Reagan is back and not dead, and also not covered in someone else's blood,
Nope.
which is
It's
good.
great. You know, honestly, it's the best case scenario.
All pros. All positives.
Reagan just
Everything
kind of
okay?
awkwardly waves at them because she knows what they were expecting, probably.
Reagan,
Yes.
did you have a successful meeting?
I think so.
I'm so impressed.
That's awesome.
Everyone is doing so well tonight. Oh my goodness.
Am I doing so well tonight? Okay.
Monty, we're all very proud of you. I already told you that earlier.
Yeah,
Stop
Monty,
doubting me.
You're
I don't
fine. You're
understand
doing
why,
great.
but thank you.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You'll understand when you're grown up. When you have kids of your own.
I am 18!
Monty, someday when you have kids of your own, you'll understand.
You're like a little baby.
Mhm. Did anyone have eyes on my sister, by the way?
Well, I was gonna say that Brika was trying to look for her, but then
Oh, my bad.
no, it's fine. We reconvened faster than I expected.
Brika, if you want to give me a quick investigation check, and depending on how it went, that'll be how successful you were, like, just locating where she was.
That is a 16.
It wasn't too hard. She was out on the veranda where Claudia had kind of been, like, introducing to a couple people, but it became very clear that, like, Ellie was more than capable on her own and began to just, like, sort of take the reins, and eventually Claudia just kind of stepped back. And then after maybe, you watched for a couple minutes, become, satisfied that everything was kosher with them. And then when last you left, you saw her talking to a very tall, cultish girl
Yes!
who seemed very uncomfortable, but becoming more comfortable as the conversation continued.
Oh,
Yes!
friends.
So yeah, she's socializing.
Okay, good. Can Reagan look around for the fucker in the creepy mask? Because that's now the only thing left on her stress radar.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
Yeah, that's 21.
It takes you a minute, because again, there are a couple of these masks throughout, but you remember that specific design. Like, there's something to the... These are all, like, kind of exaggerated, but that one, it's just, like, a little bit more severe. And you, after scanning the room once, twice, you managed to make out, just kind of, like, lingering in the corner, this figure. Just sort of staring, not at you, though.
Can she tell who this person is staring at?
Looking generally in the direction of, like, the major noble families. Just kind of, keeping an eye over there, it looks like.
And this, by the way, as far as the party sees, mostly just manifests as Reagan being like, did anyone see my sister? And then as soon as Brika's like, oh, she's fine or whatever, she just kind of zones out for a second.
And it's like,
And then comes back to center.
you see that? Yeah, that's what
Okay.
he's doing.
Cool. Just wanted to check up on that.
Okay.
Oh, is Cyrus nearby?
So Cyrus is maybe 100 feet away, sort of on the other side of the dance floor, just kind of chatting.
Monty, like, kind of subtly taps at Brika and Brika's shoulder and Reagan's wrist.
Yeah.
You guys, can you help me keep an eye on her?
Oh, yeah, that's her, isn't it? The lady you told us
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, the dragonborn lady.
Yeah, that's her.
Okay, yeah, no. Hey, we're not gonna let anything...
She looked right at you.
Yeah.
She was talking to you.
And she didn't seem to notice who you were. I mean, she seems suspicious.
No, I think she knows.
Or she at least
She's
knows
gotta
that
know.
your book is,
I wasn't even wearing my mask. She's gotta know.
Yeah, she must know it's you. So what is she
Well,
doing?
she's-
I don't know. That's what's freaking me out.
Well, just stick with us. Nothing's gonna happen. I'm not really distracted now, so I can just focus on...
That's good.
I mean, not by...
I'm still very distracted. I've got a lot of things on my mind.
Do you want me to go talk to her?
I'm not sure that would be wise. but I honestly don't know what to expect from her now.
Do you want me to go talk to her?
Do my moms want to tag team my other mom?
While you all are talking, halfling, one of these, a halfling servant, dressed in sort of the, like, black and white of the servants, approaches you, Brika, and he says,
Yes, Miss Cha, yes?
Yes.
I have a note for you.
then he produces the note in his hand, this little folded piece of paper, and he hands it to you.
Rika takes it.
He stands there.
Oh, hey, do you have another piece of paper, dude?
What?
Do you have, like, something I can write on? I didn't bring any paper. I didn't know this was, like, a thing.
He's looking between you and Brika, like, keeps looking back at Brika, like, his hand's kind of still, like, out a bit, like, lingering there.
I guess Brika's gonna read the note?
He like isn't saying anything. He's just standing there, like his hand kind of still out a little bit, like maybe slightly moving towards you, outstretched.
Oh,
like,
Am I supposed to pay you for giving me a piece of paper that I didn't ask
Monty-
for?
Monty gives him a silver. Is that enough, you think? Monty would know.
He immediately just palms it and it's gone. And he just like visibly relaxes. Yes, I have some spare parchment, and he reaches into like a hidden pocket and produces it.
Cool. Reagan just wants to jot off a quick note that says, "All is well, Reagan," and just folds it up and hands it back to him with a silver and says, "Give this to Julius Goring for me."
Very well. Just flickers away.
Thanks.
Brika, it's written in a very strange script, which you can only describe as High Draconic.
Uh-huh.
Very different, sort of a different dialect, different word choices. And it simply says, "Greetings. You appear to have caught my attention. After the first round of hors d'oeuvres, meet me on the veranda." And it is signed, Grand Duchess Narcissus.
Okay.
So, who's it from? Secret admirer?
It's just this lady that I know.
Oh. Oh, a lady that you know.
Yeah, it's, Brika folds it up real small and just, like, tucks it into a pocket somewhere.
Is this Brika Cha with a secret?
Just eats it. Secret cha.
No, she's not gonna eat the note.
I mean, you know my rule with secrets. You can have them, of course. I'm not gonna pry, but...
No, it's not a secret. It's, okay. So,
A friend? Or somebody that we need to, like, watch out for?
I don't, it's an interesting question.
Oh, good. It's one of those types of people.
It's one of those. I mean, not a friend. Definitely not a friend. But,
Finally, it's Brika's turn to have some drama. Reagan says that in real life.
Brika drama.
it's not drama. It's,
I don't know, Brika. It kind of sounds like drama.
It's not drama. I don't have drama. I don't like drama.
Yeah, just monkey shines. No drama.
I don't like monkeys either.
It's like an expression.
All right. Is the
You don't have to tell us. You know I'm mostly
no,
joking.
it's I'm not trying to keep a secret. I'm just trying to explain. It's a weird situation. So,
do you not want to do it here in somewhat public? Like, we could go somewhere else?
I don't give a crap. So, where I am from, you all have your nobles and your whatevers, and that's, it extends out into the desert as well. So where I am from, there is this lady, she's dragon lady, she is in charge of things, and she happens to be here at the party.
Oh.
Oh, dang.
So, like, so she knows who you are? Like, are you like a dragon princess?
No, I'm not the dragon princess.
Oh, I just thought that would be kind of cool.
No.
And I see you kind of like, in like that kind of light,
I'm not sure how to take that.
No, in like a good way.
Hey.
You'd be a fantastic princess of the dragons, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyway.
No, I'm not
want
the
I
princess.
said shut. You want I should make Reagan stop talking?
No, all right. I will be honest with you. I don't know if she knows who I am. We don't have that kind of relationship, but we're from the same place, and...
You have a reputation.
Yeah.
Ooh, Reagan is peaked. Just, what kind of reputation, Miss Cha? She is fascinated. She doesn't know shit about Brika.
You've never told us anything. We don't know anything about you. You literally know everything about me.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of true. I'm sorry if I've made this imbalanced.
No, it's fine. I mean, I have no secrets. It's not, and I don't expect you to just give up the ghost, but now that it's on the table, I'm interested.
There's
fair,
the option.
No one ever really asked, so...
I specifically said when we first met to all of us, Sarah, that secrets were okay. So tell us the secrets.
There's no secrets. It's just that when I was in Sadan, I was something of an activist. I don't want to make it sound dramatic. I did a lot of public speaking about the state of affairs in the area, and justice and equality.
Cobalt justice.
Just
Reagan putting it together for the first time. Cobalt justice.
I have some very
You're Filchiati?
I have some strong beliefs, and they probably don't align with, the person who's in charge of everybody. So I don't imagine that she would be pleased with me. But I never personally interacted with her. She's too big for that. I'm just me.
Huh.
So I'm not really sure why I have got her... no, I do know exactly why I have her attention. Fuck.
Did you... What?
Yes, this is the deck. I pulled 3 cards, and one of them was a stupid card.
What? What'd you pull?
Did you give her herpes or something with the card? Does she know how the heartbreak of psoriasis? Did it
Dragon herpes?
Listen, psoriasis is no joke.
No, it's really not. No, I pulled the card. It does it gains the attention of the nearest great worm.
Oh, so it's just like a magic thing, probably.
It's just...
I'm sorry, of the great what?
Worm? Like a dragon.
A great worm. The nearest great worm.
Like wyvern, keep up, Monty.
Yeah, like
great worm is, and just to be clear,
scaly...
great worm is that's like capital G, capital W, like great worm, like WYRM.
A big old dragon.
Shoot, big, scary dragon lady.
Wait. Reagan looks around, looks at Dreadbane for a second, looks at this. I don't see any dragons.
I think she's in disguise because dragons don't fit in
buildings,
in people's houses very good.
So you're telling me
she's a real dragon?
Anyone here could be a dragon?
I mean, conceivably.
Yeah, but we know who we're looking for.
Reagan looks at Rufus for a second, wistfully.
Huh?
No,
what?
No, probably not. Huh. So she wants to talk to you?
Apparently.
You want us to go with?
Oh, yeah.
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 I'm not going out there alone. That would be foolish.
I've always wanted to chat with a real dragon. No offense to me.
Wait, Reagan.
Yeah.
Reagan, don't. Reagan, no.
What? I just want to talk. I want to talk to a dragon. There's a dragon.
Just want to hang out. There's
a real dragon here. You guys know everything about me. You should know that I think dragons are cool.
It seems they're dragons. Okay, never mind.
So that is the situation, apparently.
All right.
Okay.
We can do that.
It's not what I was expecting, but
Can Rufus come? She's gonna.
I mean, we could bring everybody. She probably wants me to come alone. She didn't say to come alone.
I think it's fine.
I don't really know what to expect.
Monty,
what?
you're a married man.
I'm joking. I'm just
That
joking.
reminds
It's a
me,
joke.
how is Lynn?
Yeah.
She's okay.
Just okay?
Well, I mean, he's turning a little bit red.
Okay, I see.
Mhm.
Her brother came to grab her, so we couldn't talk about much more than Reinhardt.
Oh.
Well, I'm
That
sure there'll
guy.
still be time.
As sort of like as you're saying that, actually the various sort of concealed servants entrances all open at once, and just like lines of waiters begin like coming out and splintering off to like get to the different groups, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And as that's happening, Erwin von Teppler rings his glass 3 times, which should not be that loud as it is, but it carries somehow. And he says, well, now that we're all here, first of all, let me say that I'm glad to see each and every one of you, especially after, well, the last Masquerade. There's kind of some nervous laughter at that. But this season, preceding the election, our most sacred tradition, I am glad that I have such friends and fellows as all of you.
Reagan does her best not to snort.
I'm glad to be able to open my doors without fear and without reservation. And so, I hope you all enjoy the hors d'oeuvres, but while you do, we have a small treat for you. A performance by my daughter.
Ugh.
I thought you were going to say Kahlo.
No! That's not a treat. That's a punishment.
Upon hearing performance, actually, Kahlo like immediately starts stepping forward, and Rufus just no,
Call it
no,
out.
no,
Call it
no,
out. Call it out.
And he's just
Call
like,
it, please.
and he's just like, but they need, and then Rufus is like vice gripping him, and he just sort of sighs. Lynn steps out, and she steps up, and she has a violin,
Yes!
and she begins to play. She sort of goes up there, and she puts the string to it, and then she pauses, and she says, I wrote this for someone who taught me a lot. She begins to play.
Oh,
And-
that's Wisteria.
Yes. Ethel.
That's adorable.
This is a piece you were working on with Lynn before you left. And she finished it. And as that plays, Ethel, you hear a
Oh no! My girl is playing! Not right now!
He will see you now.
Hello, one and all, big and small, to this week's episode of Masks and Martyrs, where I am stuck in rhymes. I'm just kidding, I am free. So thank you guys for your patience with the delay on this episode. I just did not have the time to get the song done yesterday, and get the mix done, and get the promo art done, so we appreciate your patience with our 12-hour delay. So let's get some housekeeping done so you guys can get back into the episode. First off, if you are enjoying the show, we would love if you left us a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening, and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And shout out to the person who found our podcast via the Witch sandwich bags that Katie and I drew when I was there last summer, and found our business card and started listening to the podcast and left us a review. It was delightful. It was the greatest prestige moment of my life. It was the longest simmering goof, and you brought it back into our lives, so thank you for listening to the show. If you like this, you'll probably also be interested in the other projects on the Nerdification Media Network. If you're interested in more actual play, but you're in a sci-fi mood, or you're out of Masks and Martyrs because you listen every week, go ahead and check out Dwarf Stars and Dreadnoughts. It's our sister podcast, which is a reskinned sci-fi D&D 5th edition, and it features a really talented and awesome cast, so please go check them out. This week, as we do many weeks, we give a shout out to friend of the podcast, Lauren Alexa. Lauren Alexa is an artist and arch patron on the Masks and Martyrs Patreon, whose mission it is to encourage everybody to be creative. Her 2020 project is to find a way to earn $60 a day side by side with her daughter It's a new creative challenge that she'll document through the year so that other mothers in a squeeze can find financial independence. And of course, there will always be plenty of dumb photo shoots and colorful costumes along the way. She's over at lovelylady.life or at Instagram at lovelylady.life. And by the way, for those of you curious about our Patreon at patreon.com/masksandmartyrs, you can get this week's original song and all of our other music there for free for download on our Patreon. That is currently the only place that we are releasing the music other than within the episodes themselves. So if you want to listen to me making up a bunch of leitmotifs or listen to some of the good music that the other people have written, like Sarah and Julia and Danny, go check that out today. So, speaking of music, last but not least are our music credits. Our intro music is Threads of Fate by Thomas Hart and Diana Paparosi, the previously on music is Kevin MacLeod's Dreamlike, and our ending theme is Merry Meet Meg by Hopper and the Books on Tape. This episode also features the song Rain by Diana Paparosi. Alright, I'll let you guys get back into the episode now. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh, thank you very much. Let us go quietly.
Very well. And he turns and he begins to lead you out. He actually leads you up the stairways to one of those private alcoves, so you can still hear the sonata
Good.
as it's being played.
I'm so proud of her.
I would die for Lynn von Teppler.
And he leads you to one which is, it's strange. The way it's set up, it's sort of like honeycombed in, and it alternates between like visible from the outside to not visible. This one is sort of tucked between a visible and not visible one, but like you almost walk by it and miss where it is.
Oh.
And sitting there with a cup of tea on a saucer is that masked man, Mr. Morris Kipling. And he says, "So, you have something you wish to discuss with me?"
Yes, thank you so much for meeting with me.
He gestures for you to take the seat opposite him. As you sit, he's sort of just like looking out. It's a very strange like little viewport. The glass is a little tinted, and you realize that this is a one-way window.
Nice.
And he's just watching Lynn, and he says, "She's very good."
Yes, she must have had a wonderful teacher.
That's a word for it. So, what exactly is it you wish to discuss?
First, how shall I address you?
I am Mr. Morris Kipling, Miss Amblem.
Pleasure, Mr. Kipling.
I must say...
I believe...
Pardon, you first.
No, please go ahead.
I was just going to say that you look remarkably healthy for a woman who is so recently on her deathbed.
It's a wonder what fresh air can do for the soul.
Of course. So, what is it you wish to discuss with me, Miss Amblem?
Mr. Kipling, you seem to have your fingers in many pies around the city, is that correct?
I have my own objectives and my own reasons, and there are some who have described me as pie-fingered, yes.
What are your objectives?
That would be telling, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
What do you have to offer in exchange?
My own objectives.
Beyond simply an old woman trying to make the best of her last masquerade season, I assume.
Yes.
Of course. My objective is nothing less than the survival of the city of Hintilla. I wish to see it continue. Prospering is not my business. Survival is.
Well, in that case, I should think you wouldn't have to do much.
One would think that, but there are always those within the city who wish to agitate for certain changes. There are always those external forces, those internal forces, which would rather see a city in ruin and ash than in working order.
Well, that is just not productive, is it?
No, it is not. But again, I am not interested in productive or prosperity. I am interested in this city continuing long after I am dead.
That seems a strange goal to me, for what is the point of survival if one is not also prospering?
I have my reasons.
I suppose you do.
So, what exactly do you have to offer with Miss Emblem? And he sort of drags that over his teeth.
Well, Mr. Kipling, I think you and I have similar goals.
I believe we do. I'm surprised that you are coming up this recently, after your last, rather public appearance.
Well, some things have changed.
As they always do.
Yes.
So, what face am I addressing today? Besides Ethel, of course. Unless you would prefer to leave it at that for now.
I think Ethel is fine.
Very well.
She is who I am, and that is the most important thing.
Yes. You and yours always did have a strange way of viewing such things.
Identity is subjective.
For some of us. For others, it is as immutable as rock and stone. But you say we have the same objectives. That may be the case, but it also may be a lie given to me from one Lady Minata, your last employer.
I can assure you, I do not work for Lady Minata.
And what exactly changed?
She kind of smiles a little bit and, almost without thinking, kind of turns her head towards where Lynn would be, where she's playing.
He sort of kind of nods, and he says, "The hope for the future."
Yes.
It is a romantic notion, but not one that is without merit.
Unfortunately, I would agree.
Yes. It's always difficult, isn't it, for people like us to see ourselves in that future.
Very true.
So, what you're saying right now is that you are independent.
That is correct.
I will tell you right now that I do not wish to, I do not have underlings, per se. I have those I hire for certain tasks, but I do not deal with employees. I deal with partners.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
So, what do you bring to the table besides your considerable expertise, Ethel?
Awfully greedy.
I am that to a fault.
I have various information that I think would be difficult for you to otherwise get your hands on.
And what would you have of me in return?
Simply a partnership. As I said, I believe we have similar goals, and I believe it is better to, shall we say, coordinate at least the direction of our efforts, lest we accidentally undermine one another and allow someone we both dislike to move ahead.
A common foe, if you would.
Yes.
I understand that very well. She's winning right now, you know that.
Yes. Not for long.
I should hope not. Bringing the dragon here was a bold move.
Indeed.
And between that and Lord Limter wrapped around her finger, well, Owen and Julius will never... they'll never actually reconcile.
It's time for a fresh start, I think.
You have something in mind, I assume.
I simply think that most of the current power structure should be dismantled to allow for new growth. Like a forest that grows anew after a fire.
Dangerous. But it could be effective. However, I will say one thing, Ethel. Whatever your plan is, whatever plan you need assistance with, I will not have it hurt the common people.
In that, I believe we are in agreement.
Very well. My reports tell me that you have been making some overtures with the champion and his people, including the three rather peculiar individuals who have joined recently.
Yes.
They seem, what is the word for it? Brash, crass.
Mm-hmm.
Too bold by half from my own dealings with them.
I agree.
But they are useful in their own way.
I would also agree.
Especially Mr. Pensmith.
Mr. Pensmith is particularly interesting.
Yes. But I suppose... it is not my place to reveal that particular secret of his.
You may not need to.
Ah. You are very good, just as the rumors and your reputation say.
Much appreciated.
I do not traffic in reputation myself. I prefer anonymity. But the devil's drives needs must in times like these.
Well, for now, I have plans for the evening.
Very well.
Should things turn interesting, your support, or at least your distraction, would be much appreciated.
I believe I can arrange such things. Nothing overt, of course, but cover, distraction, that sort of thing is well within my ability.
That is precisely what I need.
Very well. I will leave you with one bit of information. An individual has come to the city. A man who is looking for Anne.
That is excellent information.
I thought you would like to hear it.
Well, this has been a most lovely meeting, Mr. Kipling. I'm so delighted to make your acquaintance at last. I believe I should return and check on my wonderful great niece.
Of course. One final thing, Ethel.
Yes.
Why are you doing this?
There are many things I'm doing. Why am I doing what?
He sort of looks out back into the people down there and he says, "They don't care about us, Ethel. They never did. Not a single one of them. And yet we are the ones who are ground into meat for them. And yet, if they fall and this city falls, What does it mean for all those who were ground to dust under their boot? Maybe, just maybe, if it all survives, maybe the whores and the orphans and the bastards of Sot's Alley, maybe we were worth something after all.
Someone has to fight for those who cannot fight for themselves.
And sadly, I am a poor fighter.
That's what I'm here for.
He turns and looks at you one last time and he says, I believe that. If nothing else, I believe that.
With that, he turns back to the performance. Ethel, as you walk back down,
you see, sort of leaning against the wall, arms crossed, rapier at her side, just making little notes in her book, is Delia Quickstep. And she just gives you a little like two-fingered like salute, just evening.
Good evening.
She's just smirking a bit to herself.
Mm-hmm.
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 How does it feel? How does it feel there, Styria?
Not great. Not great. I shall just continue on my way. I want to catch the end of this performance.
Bustle, bustle, bustle.
Bustle, bustle.
She just watches you as you go.
I don't like that one.
Delia's great. Everybody loves Delia. She's got...
No, she is great. I don't like her.
Yeah, that's fair. So you get down just in time for the sonata to end, and the staircase you take actually leads you like kind of right up to the nerd patrol. I don't know what to actually.
Yeah, nerd patrol works.
Yeah.
Why are we the nerd patrol now?
Because you're
like
a nerd, Monty.
I feel like I'm being bullied in a Saturday morning cartoon. like that's what Team Rocket calls us.
Oh man. Looking back, what if there had been a Team Rocket and an analogy in here? That would have been fun. But the sonata ends and people begin to applaud. It's... I didn't go too much in depth into it, but it's a very somber piece. It's not like a rousing one. It's sort of it's a piece which the fact that it's just a single violin. It's a bit in a lower key, and it's almost mournful of things lost and things still to be lost. Is the impression given by it. Wisteria, you know this, the others don't. But the piece, the working title for the sonata, was Rain. And as soon as she's done, Lynn she starts to blush a bit, and she just sits back and gives a little bow, and everyone's clapping and excited. And at that point, Erwin steps forth and he says, "Now, in a little while, we'll be serving dinner, and then we can get to the dancing and the scheming and the rest of the things that we tend to do with these things." And everyone definitely laughs at that. It's a big laugh line.
That joke really kills with nobles.
Mm-hmm.
The nobles love him. Find out why. Hors d'oeuvres have been served, and there is a veranda, which... Oh.
Can I roll a perception check to see if there's pigs in blankets?
Of course there are. You don't gotta roll a perception check. They're bringing it to you. So, hors d'oeuvres have been served, and a veranda awaits for Brikacha.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Big time.
Yeah.
How do you want us to do this?
Reagan takes an entire plate of hors d'oeuvres. Just an entire platter.
That's not what I meant.
And just starts chewing through the pits. Just crunch.
She offers them to her friends too, they're friends for everyone.
No, I know, but
Sure.
do you want us to stand out and be bold, or do you want us to stealth up?
I don't do stealth.
I can't guarantee that it's going to be successful. So do you want us to stealth up?
We're not
or...
stealthing out. Come on. You guys
Okay,
can't
so
stealth anyway.
I resemble that remark. So what, you just want us to kick the door open and just go
walk out onto the veranda. It's already open.
Yeah, like civilized.
I mean, my question in here is, what should we be expecting here? Are we expecting another fight? Like, what kind of? I mean, I know you don't have a background with her personally that you know of, but I mean, how far apart are your political stances? Is this
Pretty darn far.
I mean, like, what? I'm sorry, I'm not as aware of the situation in the desert.
It's a lot of the same nonsense that goes on here.
Monty's over here, like, going, why are you so mad about the nobles in Intilla if it's the same as where you came from?
Because she was mad about those nobles.
And you know, the nobles here are much more sneaky and backstabby about things.
Oh, okay.
All the same bullshit out in Sedan, but people are more upfront about things.
That's fair.
So, I guess, expect the unexpected?
Got it.
I really have no idea how this is going to go.
So is everyone coming? Is like the whole gang, or just Monty and Reagan? I mean, Reagan's happy to bring Rufus because now that she's not having a panic attack, she can actually just enjoy his company and be awkward.
Brika's call.
I mean, literally
Brika's
everyone
call.
can come. Ethel can
Brika's
come
call.
out too.
Mhm.
This isn't like a secret meeting.
No, it's not.
You know what? Make an announcement to everybody in the Masquerade. Come meet a
Who wants
dragon.
to go meet the secret dragon lady who's dressed up as not a dragon?
Woo! Brika is just going to say to those gathered around, being her friends and whoever else happens to be listening in.
Wisteria.
Okay, I have to go out to the veranda and speak to her, apparently. If you want to come with me. I appreciate the backup, but if not, don't. I mean, don't.
No, I'm coming. Rufus,
Okay.
you good? You want to come? Want to go meet a
Well-
dragon?
Just quick question, Andrew. Lynn is gone. She's dealing with her family right now.
Yeah, Lynn's back with the family. She's sort of dealing with people coming up and like complimenting her on the performance on the sonata.
Oh yeah, no problem then.
Living that Danny life.
Hortensia is going to stick at the bar because somebody needs to watch this bar, you know. She's really enjoying it. I mean, she really enjoys getting drunk on her own. Dreadbane is going to kind of move throughout in his, like, ridiculous, like... He looks kind of like, you know the Undertaker from WWE?
Yes.
It's kind of like that, but fancier.
Before he goes, Reagan wants to talk to say, hey, Dreadbane. I told Elaine that she has to give you a raise or no deal. So you make sure she gives you that raise.
Or I'm
Oh.
a killer.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess I can figure that out. I'll have to talk to HR, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but she's like the boss, right? So anyway, I just
Technically, I
wanted
guess
to
it'd
let
be
you know.
DR for me?
What?
DR.
Not human resources.
I'm glad someone laughed at that.
Anyway, Dreadbane, enjoy your night. Tell the wife I said hi.
I didn't get it. I was too
Yeah,
tired.
I'll let her know. Kalo is going to say, do you need me to come and talk to this dragon? Because I will. I will speak to the dragon if you wish me to. But it is strange. I have not seen a dragon here.
Me neither.
Yeah, no. Carlo, if you want to come outside with us, that's fine, but I would not,
She doesn't want you to talk, my dude.
yeah. And don't play the sham, either.
I don't see why that would be a thing that anyone would not want.
Don't talk, don't play the sham, don't interrupt, I guess. It's just, you know, it might become a personal matter, we're not sure.
What would you like me to do?
Whatever you're comfortable with, Carlo.
No,
That is confusing.
Rika, that's a bad word. Hey, Hollow.
Hmm?
Hollow, you hang back with me and Rufus, and we'll just all stand there looking terrifying. Sound good?
I'm not terrifying,
Well,
but
no,
I can
you're
look.
not. Or I am. We'll just stand there, and
Yes, you're all very pretty.
I'm not pretty. I'm a bird.
let the lady know.
Excuse you, pretty bird.
Pretty bird.
Pretty bird.
We'll just,
Kala-
call it. The three of us, we can
Kala
just
knows
stand.
pretty birds.
We'll just stand back there quiet, and that way the dragon lady will know that she can't pull anything. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hollow,
Do
you're with me.
dragons eat birds?
Rika kind of laughs. She's like, boy.
Mhm.
Oy, geez.
Yeah, Rufus is gonna. So, Rufus and Kala are going with y'all. Delia's off, just wandering around, like
Delia Quick Stuff's doing her Delia Quick Stuff.
just nodding at people ominously while smirking.
Doing the
Does
little
she
bro-chin
know?
thing that Monty does to Aldo.
Ethel, what are you doing?
Oh
You
goodness.
want to come see your friends?
Because you did come down like right by them.
Yeah.
Just like fall in step with us.
What are Anastasia and Lord Limpter up to?
Currently, he is sitting at her table, and people are coming over and like chatting with her, and he's just kind of sitting there, like not really talking, just there, being seen with her.
Yeah, of course. I want to take 10 minutes and cast clairvoyance and put a sensor in Morris Kipling's room.
Oh
Shit!
fuck! I think you're able to like find an alcove, like a broom closet, and just be like, "Yep, here we go." Dope. Okay.
All right.
So the party goes off to meet a dragon. You all walk out onto the veranda. What's everybody's passive perceptions again?
I'm 12.
14.
Rika is 16.
You all notice that sort of toward like at the sort of the far end of the veranda, there's a very clear space where that statuesque Sadani woman is standing. She's not facing the house. She is staring at the other direction, just sort of off onto the grounds. She's not moving, obviously, because she has that sort of strange, like, just stillness to her. Monty and Brika, you both notice there are some people out here sort of chatting. You both notice sort of further down, maybe 100 feet to the left, sort of often like essentially the far corner of the veranda, you see Reinhardt is sitting. He has lit something, and he's just kind of like slumped, head in one hand, just kind of like over there. And you can see some of his retainers are like kind of spread out, giving him some space, like at different points, but also keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't do anything else super dumb.
Oh no.
Does he have a leg?
Currently, sort of. Oh, yeah, and as you guys are walking up, Griffin notices you and waves excitedly.
Monty kind of gives him a half wave back, like, kind of does want to go over there, but...
Well, we're laying some groundwork.
Yeah.
But, provided no one wants to change any of their courses, you all approach. As you approach, you're maybe 20 feet away when you hear just this clear, rich voice say, "So, Miss Cha." And the figure turns. For the first time, most of you sort of get a real look at her. She is exactly 6 feet tall. She has this sort of rippling red-brown hair, which goes down past her shoulders, sort of to the small of her back, and yet there's not a single hair out of place. She has a sort of long, slender nose and a very angular face. Not quite elven, but definitely some hints of that look to it. But also, the ears are completely rounded. And she says, "Why can't I take my eyes off you?"
It's an interesting question.
I see you've brought some companions.
Yeah, we came together, we might as well stay together.
Monty does bow, by the way, behind Brika. Doesn't say anything, though.
She sort of blinks at that, and when she blinks, you can hear it's almost like a clicking noise when she does, as if like the eyelids are like hard. And she says, "That does sound pleasant. So, Miss Cha, you are a long way from home."
Yeah, you could say that. You are too.
I have my reasons. So, why can't I look away from you?
I think that was my mistake. A little bit of accidental magic fothering, and it's best to just ignore it. It'll go away.
She begins walking towards you. Not hurried, but deliberate pacing. And she comes to a stop right in front of you, just kind of looking down, and she says, How?
How? Oh.
How?
I've got these cards, and they do funny tricks, and...
May I see them?
Brika takes out one card and shows it to her.
A perfectly ordinary card.
She sort of holds out her hand.
And Brika places the card in her hand.
She takes it, sort of pinching it between two fingers. She raises up to her eyes, and there is just this, for a moment, just this flare of light, and you just feel like anybody who's within 10 feet of her, you just feel this heat, as if suddenly the temperature is like 110 degrees. And then it's gone. It's just back to normal. And she says, Curious. Magic defined by chance rather than by definition. Interesting.
Funny, right? I don't usually work with magic, but I got them as a gift, so,
And one of these is what did this?
Yeah, apparently. It's totally, unintentional.
Interesting. I asked about you. Lady Benata had things to say. So did Lord Goring. Very disparate things.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to Lady Minata.
Well, she was not flattering.
Yeah, that sounds like her.
The term cold-blooded killer, which I think was a joke, but it was a poor one.
Yeah, I'll say.
Lord Goring was more charitable. He claimed you were a great friend of his. You are of the desert, yes, Sandborn?
Yes.
So why are you here?
I came to Hintilla for a change of pace.
That's not the whole reason, is it?
I guess not.
You're afraid of me.
A little bit.
I'm sorry. I know that I can be disconcerting to people. In this form, it's not. I do not enjoy being in it, but it is necessary for negotiations.
Imagine it's not easy to get around otherwise.
No. Well, sometimes. But there is not sand here. It is not. It is doable, but more difficult.
And I don't think the Von Tepplers want you to destroy their house, probably.
No. I believe that is a diplomatic faux pas.
Yeah.
Why are you so important here, Brika Cha?
Because she's the best.
Her eyes turn over to you, just flicker over to you, and she says, I will speak to you next if you wish to speak to me.
Oh, shit.
I'm speaking to Miss Cha currently. She turns back to you, Brika. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to me.
So, why are you so important here, Brika Cha? Your name is in the lips of 2 of the 5 nobles. The great houses of this city, and this city is rather important. From what they tell me, you haven't been here very long, and yet you walk in the company of, well, they called him the champion, but he does not seem to be a champion of much. He is very small.
Hey.
I guess he's a dragon. She's a dragon, so.
By comparison.
Reagan's just glaring now.
But,
This bitch.
Do you say that?
No.
No.
No, she's
good.
just glaring. She is glaring
no.
in character.
Reagan, don't get, roasted.
But no.
Reagan, please don't. Reagan, you just did such a good job of not. You did such a good job of not getting killed. Don't get killed now.
No. This would not be a good way to die.
No.
But she is glaring.
I don't really know why I'm important here. I don't think I'm particularly important. I've made some friends here, but I guess that's not what you mean. But I don't follow I don't understand the way that the nobles work here. I don't really understand you, ma'am, but I just have tried to be honest with people. I guess maybe they like that?
She sort of takes that in for a minute, and she just, while still staring at you. And she says, honesty is good. The powerful cannot always be as honest as they would like, as we would like, I should say. It's still new to me, having this title. Most of the ones I have had in the past have been, well, of a different sort. A title earned, not granted. A title screamed, not spoken of in reverence. You understand.
Sure.
What do you think of Lady Manada?
Oh, I don't like her at all.
Really? Right in public?
That makes sense.
She was very rude to me upon our meeting. I would say behaves abusively towards pretty much everyone that she comes in contact with. She's a poisonous person.
That is good to know. There is something to her that I am trying to ascertain currently. But it is good to know that one of the Sandborn is here and has already made some overtures.
I suppose you could call it that.
Apologies, I did not mean to imply that you were acting in my interest.
Yeah, no. That's
Simply that you being here. I know I am not beloved in Sadan, but I do love Sadan and its people, and I find I can trust them more than most.
I also love Sadan. Is there anything else that you need from me at the moment?
For now, I do not think so. You have been very helpful to me. I have not left the desert in many years. It is strange still to be in a place with this sort of everything.
Yeah. It takes some getting used to.
Yes. But if you have done so, perhaps I can as well. Thank you, Brigid Shah.
Certainly.
She then turns to Reagan. Do you have something you wish to say now that I'm completed in my conversation with Miss Cha?
No, I just wanted to say Brick is great. That's all.
She turns to Monty. Do you have anything to say?
No, ma'am. I nothing at all. Thank you, though.
She turns to Rufus. He just immediately shakes his head.
No.
She turns to Kahlo. Yes, I would like to say that there are many things that I have questions about. For example, if you are a dragon, why are you so small?
No, Kahlo, please.
She just kind of looks at him for a very long moment, and then Rufus just starts pulling him away. And he's like, but she did not answer my question, and I believe it was a good one, and one that bears answering.
Magic, Kahlo.
That is not an answer, that is a word.
Kahlo, no.
Kahlo, I will tell you all about it. I think I get how it works. Let's go.
Narcissus is going to look. He's going to watch that happen. She'll look back to you, Brika, and she's going to say, if I were to send word to meet in the future, to discuss the city and what happens within it. Would you be amenable to that?
I would consider it.
That is good. Thank you, again, Miss Cha. You have given me much to think about.
That's good to hear.
At that, she is going to sort of turn her back to you and looking back out off the veranda. Ethel, as you finish casting the spell and it snaps into focus, are you doing sight or sound?
I'm gonna do sound.
Okay.
No, wait, because I can read lips. Yeah, I'll do sight then.
Okay. The sensor pops into sight, and you see inside Morse's alcove. And you see a hand reaching around and knock on the door, and you can read their lips. So I'm just gonna say what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Anastasia Manata stepping in, and she sits down, and he looks at her impassively, and she says, "So, the puppeteer makes his appearance." And he says, "I was going to say the same thing." And she says, "I must say, I have heard all sorts of whispers about you."